What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay. Today, I am joined by the team over at Switchboard. This is a tool that allows you to easily live stream to multiple social media channels at once, plus tap into your network for maximum views. It is on AppSumo right now, starting at $59 for a lifetime deal. Before we dive into the tool, though, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things. If you've been here before, you've heard me say these. The first, if you have any questions about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, go ahead and leave those questions in the Q&A down below this video. We'll circle back to them at the end of the walkthrough. Second thing is, if you want to say hello to me like Francisco just did, hello, Francisco, or if you want to tell us a little bit about your use case, why you're interested in Switchboard, you can go ahead and do that in the chat room. The third thing is that there will be a replay of this available. So if you need to step out or if you just want to watch this later, you can totally do that as many times as you want. All right, that is enough of me. Hey, Rudy, how are you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me today, Lindsay. Appreciate it.
I am excited to pass this over to you. Patrick says, where will we get the replay? Patrick, if you RSVP'd, it'll land in your email. So it should be available to you soon. It'll also be linked on the deal page indefinitely. Alex, hello. Francisco, hello. All right, Rudy, I'm going to let you take it away. Let me know when you're ready to take some questions.
Awesome. Questions or screen share? How should we start first?
Go for screen share, and then when you're done with screen share, I'll come back for questions.
Gotcha. No worries. All right. Well, first off, folks, thanks for tuning in today. Again, I'm Rudy with Switchboard Live. And like Lindsay said, our goal is to make it really easy for you as a content creator publisher to expand your reach by streaming your live video to all of your social destinations, right? Why would you want to do that? The main goal is you produce great quality content. It's a given you're going to stream to your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, your Twitter account, your Twitch account, your LinkedIn account, right? That's becoming more of the norm. But how do you go 2 and 3 and 4 layers deep by using a tool like Switchboard? We make it really easy for you to take that same stream that you would normally go to your own socials and include your, sponsors and participants or friends or guests. You can really start thinking about awesome ways to leverage the people that are tuning in that have an affinity for the type of content you're producing to be able to carry your stream so that when you go live, they go live at the same time. So what I wanted to do is quickly just, talk about our product, give a little demo on our interface, and then obviously, like Lindsay said, answer any questions you guys may have. So what we're looking at right now is what we call our workflow. And in order to get video in a Switchboard and go live, there's basically 3 main things that you need. One, you need a video source. Typically, a video source is going to come from an encoder, and that's either going to be a piece of software like OBS or Ecamm or Wirecast. You can use a mobile phone product like Switcher Studio or Larix, or you can use like a piece of hardware, like if you're really a fancy dancy, like high-end kind of streamer, a LiveView Solo or Aja Hilo or Matrox. Those are all different types of encoders. And now what we're starting to see is more cloud products, right? So you could use a product like StreamYard or Restream Studio, where you're producing quality streams and you want to maximize your reach. You want to feed them all into Switchboard. And so what you would do is when you first sign up for an account, we walk you through this wizard. And just for sake of time, I've started this, but this is what the screen will look like, right? You would come in and you have the ability, maximize this, to choose what type of encoder, whether it's a mobile encoder, whether it's a desktop encoder, cloud encoder, or external encoder. So these are all the things that we were mentioning, or that I was mentioning rather, for you to choose from. So what I've done is I've just selected desktop encoder. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to use OBS. That's what I had running on my PC that I have right here, right? So once you do that, the next thing you need to do is you need to configure your encoder to send video into Switchboard. How do you do that? It's 2 things. One is the stream key, and then the server URL information. And you get that information from right here. So what we want you to do is basically select the entry point that's closest to where you're located, where your encoder is located. Even though we're using a cloud application, it's accessible throughout the web, right? There's cases where your encoder may be in a different location than when you're located. So you want to make sure that you choose an ingestion zone that's closest to your encoder. So we have a whole slew of different types of ingestion zone here. I'm located in Philadelphia, so I'm going to choose US East, and that's what you have listed here. But we also have different zones for different areas throughout the world, essentially. And if you don't know where you're located and you don't know what to pick, you can always just pick either US Geo, or you can pick global, which will route your signal based on the location of your encoder to the best one that's available for you. So now that you've gotten your zone selected, the key thing that you need to put into your encoder is your stream key. So this is unique to each user of Switchboard. A stream key is provisioned for you, and think of it like your phone number, or yeah, just keep it like that. Think of it as your phone number, right? Or something that's unique to you that you will put into your encoder that's going to be recognized by our system and allow you to stream video in. One cool thing is, obviously if you're doing a screen share and you don't want anyone else to see your stream key, you can always just hide it, kind of mask it out. If there was ever a problem and you needed to reset your stream key, or if you felt the stream key was compromised, there's a button here that if I wasn't live, you can actually reset that. So as you see, I have video coming into this confidence monitor from an encoder that I have running. It's just looping video. You can tell that it's receiving video because we have this awesome green dot. Here's the resolution. Here's the bit rate. So video is coming in right now. If I wanted to listen to the audio that's coming in, I can actually hold down this button right here, and you guys can hear it, but audio would be playing just to verify that video and audio is coming into Switchboard. Next, here's all the geeky stuff, right? So we had this information here if you really want to kind of geek out and look at it. We have the status, when you started the stream, how often we're polling, bit rate, aspect ratio, codec, all the real kind of like nitty gritty with regards to the stream. If your stream's working, and you see this green dot, you're good to go, right? And then the last option we have here is, basically the name of the encoder, right? So this is OBS, but the cool thing is, once you've identified your encoder and it's configured, and you happen to manage whether it's multiple OBS encoders or maybe there's multiple ingestion points, you can actually rename this, right? So if I wanted to say this is Rudy, I could rename this to OBS Rudy. And now this workflow is, I've labeled it something that is germane to me. And then if I have a bunch of workflows, meaning a bunch of inputs where I need to manage multiple events going on at the same time, and I want to quickly be able to, visualize which one is paired to which encoder, I can even set a color, right? Just something kind of neat and cool for you to do, so that if I had a list of all different encoders here, I can quickly know from a color perspective which one is assigned to that input. So this is when we refer to as a workflow encoder. That's what we mean. It's a relationship between an encoder, again, where your video is coming from, and to an entry point inside of Switchboard. Now that you got video coming in, the next thing you need is destinations. Where are you going to stream your video to? What platforms are you going to stream your video to? So we make it really quick and simple for you to be able to select from, one of the most popular ones here, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter/Periscope, or you can just click on this button right here. And we have a wizard will allow you to walk you through the ability to create this new destination, right? So this allows you to come and just see the ones that we have integrated. And if we don't have a destination that you're trying to stream to, you can always refer to RTMP, right? Custom RTMP is pretty much the catch-all. It's the basic way for you to publish video to a destination that's not here. And all you need to do, just like we grabbed and configured our encoder, you just need your server URL and stream key of where you're publishing that video to. But what we've done is we've went ahead and integrated with Facebook and YouTube and Twitch and LinkedIn and Twitter/Periscope. And if using a product called AppSumo, you can use that as well to really make it streamlined and easy for you to select what destinations you want to go to and then go live. So for sake of time, I've, as you can see, I pre-populated my YouTube channel here, right? If I want to make sure that it's working and everything looks good and it's connected, I can actually click on this icon right here, and it's going to take me to my YouTube page. So as you can see, I'm constantly doing some testing here, but this is my YouTube page, right, as well. What I also want to show you is how do you add destinations that that you've had already, established within your account. So just like I mentioned right here, I hit new destination. I can always choose existing destination. So these are destinations that I've previously added to my Switchboard account that aren't active on this current workflow. So what I'm going to do for this demo is select my YouTube channel as well as my Facebook page. So these were destinations that I pre-added already. And as you can see, they're added directly to my workflow, and they're right here. For some reason, I wanted to get rid of one of these. I can easily do that. I can just click on this X right here. And what this does is it does not remove it from, or delete it rather from my account. It just removes it from this group, from this workflow group that I've set up. So just to kind of, showcase this, I'm going to get rid of Johnny Switch. And in fact, what I want to do is I actually want to create a new group where I just want to have that destination by itself, essentially, because maybe that's a channel where I want to make sure that the title and the description is different than what I have in this primary group. And to do that, you just click on new group, and I can label this, let's say AppSumo demo. And jumping the gun here, but here is a template, right? And a template is what we call and what we use for you to be able to create the title and the description, all the information that gets posted to your live stream. So the whole thing is, if you have all these destinations, you don't want to have to go to each destination and type in the title and description. We make it really easy for you to be able to publish, that title and description on a per group basis. So for the second group that I'm creating called AppSumo demo, I've chosen this template that I've preset, and here's the information that's here. The title of the title of the stream, the category that's applicable for YouTube, and here is the description that actually gets posted, right? So I have that here. So add a period. So now if I hit save, it's going to apply that to this new group. And what I want to do, like I mentioned earlier, is I want to go and grab that existing destination, Johnny Switch, and I'm going to add him to that second group. And so what you'll see is I'll have two groups, one with these two destinations, and a second group all by itself with just one destination with a template that is different than this other group that I have. And this is a great way where if you need to manage the titling and description, or from an organization standpoint, whether there's a show you're doing, right, and you have certain groups that you want to go live at certain times, you can definitely leverage Switchboard's group feature to allow you to do that. So you can have a set of destinations of one group, and you can multi-select and then go live. I can have another set of destinations, and I can go live. You always have the ability to individually go live to all of them, like one at a time, or you can select them as a group. So right now I have two groups. I have two different templates selected, and I also have my destinations. So how did I create the template? So let me kind of jump ahead of myself. Our main menu is located up here in the upper left-hand corner, and I can switch between my different workflows. Here's my destination manager that we have here. And this will list all the destinations that I have within my account. So for this particular account, I have 4 destinations. And you could tell that these 2 destinations, as well as this destination, is already assigned to that work group that I already have here. I'm sorry, workflow that I have set up already. This one right here, our Switchboard Live destination, is in my account, but it's not assigned to any workflow. And if I wanted to change the name of a destination, definitely can do that here. So I can open up the field and I can edit it to my liking, but by default, it will automatically pull the destination name that's preset from your account, especially if you're using an API connection. So next, let's go to templates. So here's our template manager. Template manager allows you to create think of it as a little notepad, right? Where I can come in here and pre-game or pre-event my upcoming live streams. So if I know that I'm doing a stream on Friday and I know the content and the materials that I want to have in there, I can use our template feature to come and pre-populate all the information that I want applied to that live stream ahead of time. So the first thing you would do is you can either create a new one or you can copy from an already existing one. So for this one, as you saw, I had Switchboard plus AppSumo. So let's just say I wanted to create a new one, right? So this one is going to be today's date, which is 2/1/21. Automatically saves. There's no save button. It just, once you input information, auto saves, and you can tell that the name of the template is updated here. These two fields are only internal to you, meaning you have the ability to put in comments or notes or whatever information that you want you and maybe other team members that are in your account to be able to see that pertains to this template. This category down here, right? This information rather down here is all the stream information that's public. This is the title that gets published to your Facebook page or your YouTube channel, assuming you have the native connection. Here's the category that's applicable to YouTube. So these are the exact same categories that are there on the YouTube platform. And then obviously the description, right? So if I want to add a period, this is awesome. So again, if I had all my information set up, I can copy paste, hashtags, emotions, what are it called? Emojis, right? Sorry. Any of that information you can pop in here, URLs, and so forth. Now, here's where it gets really, really awesome why you would want to leverage multiple templates. So currently I have the two groups. I have two different templates. Let's say, template A had a different URL, right? So it's, hey, thanks for checking out this webinar. This is awesome. Please subscribe, right? And then I can have a call to action to a website or a newsletter that's specific to these set of channels. And then I can have another template that has a whole different title and description that's really on voice to the destinations I'm streaming to, with another set of either UTMs or call to actions. So you could really customize the titling and description, and then also from a marketing perspective, really dictate where and what you want people to do once they watch your stream. And it could be, specific to the destinations you're streaming to. So, as you start to think about why am I streaming to more channels? Why am I inviting people to carry my live streams? You can really cater the message to that platform. So like say, for example, I was streaming this to Lindsay page. Her description would be totally different than what it was on my page. It would say, hey, I'm live with Rudy. Check out this awesome stream he's streaming, right? Whereas me, I'm live, check out my AppSumo demo. So like you can really, customize the messaging on a per group basis based off the destinations you're streaming to. And then lastly, tags. So tags allow you, if you ever watch like a YouTube video and you see like the hashtags underneath the videos or the elements where you're searching for different types of videos within YouTube, this is where you input that information. So if I wanted to have this assigned to the channels that I'm streaming to, just type it in, hit enter, and you can add multiple tags. And for YouTube, it'll take the first 3 tags, whether they're in this field or in the description, and populate it right below the actual window. So let's do switchboard. Got to stick with the theme, right? Awesome. Anyway, so now I have this new template that's labeled Switchboard plus AppSumo to today's date. And I can go back to my workflow and I can apply that. Well, it's already there. It's already being applied. But if I realize I want to make a change to that or I need to edit that, there's a little pencil icon right here allows you to do that. I can click on this pencil icon and I can change it. Oh, snaps, I made a typo, right? So it's not 2.2. Let's go back and make that 2.1, right? And so this is where, you're able to do that. If I wanted to choose the other template that I created, I can come and select that as well. And There's information. It's all right here. So you have the ability to kind of pick and choose what template you want to apply to that. And so now let's go here. Let's hit save. And I think the last thing, we just need to go live, right? So let's do this. So we're going to select this group right here. So this is going to stream to this YouTube channel as well as this Facebook page that I have preset. So I have multiple ways to do that. I can individually select one at a time and then go live. I can hit this button right here and go live. I can group select all of these and go live. So you can really control how and when you want to start the go live experience. And what it's going to do is grab this video and it's going to publish it at that time to those destinations. So now I'm just going to select this guy. I'm going to hit go live. And it takes about 30 seconds or less, depending on the platform you have pre-configured to send video to those destinations. One thing to kind of keep in mind, this right here is just a confidence monitor. Our whole goal is just to make sure that your live video is coming into Switchboard, that you could see it, it's there, things are working. It's inherently going to be about 20, 30 seconds behind because it's there for just more of a confidence to make sure that things are working. If you want to, verify, you can actually go to the different destinations and see between your encoder and your destination how short of a time elapse it is. We're not doing anything with the video. We're not holding onto the video. It's coming in and we're sending it right back out as fast as you can. So from a latency standpoint, it's really it's non-existent for that matter. So now I'm live, right? So I can click on this info button and I can see all this awesome information. I can see the destination's live. I can stop it. I can copy this URL, the playout URL to my clipboard. I can see how long I was live. If I wanted to look at it from the Facebook backend, right, the producer link, and see all the information there, I can click on that. And then again, we have all the nerdy geek stuff here that pertains to the stream. And then once the stream is actually live, when we start pulling from the destinations, you'll see some of the analytics that are tied to it as well, right? So, but let's do this. So for now, I'm going to click on this Facebook icon to go directly there. And of course, I'm not logged into my Facebook page. So let's go to my YouTube channel. And we'll come back to Facebook at the end. So here we go, right? So we're live on my YouTube channel. And here is the information, testing with Switchboard Cloud. Here are the hashtags that we have here. And here is the description and title that came from that template, right? So I can go back and I can see that this information is here. We also, while you had the video open, as people tune in and watch, our platform is able to pull and see and show you how many concurrent viewers are watching on the stream. And so you can have a visualization to see how many people are tuned in, while you're live. So we think that's, obviously really helpful, and that number actually rolls up to here as well. And one other cool thing that we thought. So let's say let's go back here real quick. We're live. And we realized this is the wrong information or the wrong title, or I need to change something while I'm live. So instead of having to go and back into Switchboard and stop it, or log into YouTube and give me one sec here, just mute this. Confused me here. And I realized that the title's wrong or the description's wrong, or I'm streaming to a channel where I don't have, access to. You actually can update the titling and description on the fly. So if I wanted to change this to the other template, I can definitely do that just by selecting it and hitting save. And what this will do is this will update that stream, automatically. So now when I go back and I hit reload, so this testing with Switchboard Cloud will update to the new description. So if I hit refresh, Switchboard plus AppSumo, the date and the webinar, and here's information. So this would be the same if someone, tuned in a couple minutes late, they would see the updated, title and description versus what you actually publish with. So that's obviously a a very, very, awesome feature that allows you to, update a stream. Like, so let's say you have a 4-hour show that's going on and you're streaming it, all day, and you have different segments. So you can come back in and you can adjust the titling and the description depending on, what's live, who's showing up, who's talking, all from within Switchboard. So really, really powerful tool that will allow you to use that. And now let's go live on my other YouTube channel. So let's check which one this is. So this is that other template. And we're going to go live here. And so what we have is we have this group set right here. We're going live. And then we also have this group right here we're going live on as well. And like I said, as people tune in, the viewers will show up. They will, the counter will grow as more people tune in and so forth. Another cool thing that we have is, let's say you're streaming and you want to just test out the page, right? You want to stream to your own YouTube channel or your own personal wall. We have this slider right here that allows you to make a page either public or private. So if there's, an event that you're doing and you've already added in the destination, but you want to go live and not have it be seen on, to the public, you can actually, enable this private feature, and this will turn that stream private so that only you could see that, while you're live. And since I, obviously with the demo, I did not log into my Facebook page with this test account. What I'm going to do just to show you guys is we're going to grab the official Switchboard Live Facebook page, which is public to everybody. So if you're watching the stream or if you're following, Switchboard Live Facebook page, I'm sure Rachel and the team is going to get mad at me for going live on our socials, but this is just to show you, hey, we're live and we'll be able to see it because I wanted to make sure you guys could see that. So now let's make sure our title and description makes sense, and we're going to go live. So now we're going to go live to Switchboard's official page, and then we'll be able to tune in and watch it there, right? So let's go back here and let's check this. So we're live on Johnny's Switch. We're live on Jane's Switch. Oh, let's see. We're live on Jane's Switch. Oh, there you go. I marked it private. So I forgot I did that. So here is it. Because my username doesn't see that page, it's private to me. So you can actually do that on the fly. So that's something where, hey, if you needed to take something down, you can quickly just mark it private, or you can hit stop and boom, it's changed. And if I wanted this to be public, I can just go back and go back to the page, and it should become public again. Let's give it a couple seconds to refresh. And there we are. So I totally forgot about that. So yeah, so now we were able to see the private public feature. And then let's go check on our official Switchboard Live page, because I'm not logged in, but it's public. And here we are, right? Switchboard plus AppSumo webinar. We're live. Thanks for checking out this webinar. So now we're live on the official page, and it looks like 6 people have already tuned in via our Switchboard page. And as you can see, now it's starting to grow. So right now I'm live on 2 YouTube channels, a Facebook group, and our public Facebook Facebook page. So that's, quickly the power of leveraging Switchboard, going, to all your different destinations and being able to manage that. So one of the things that I wanted to make sure I cover, because I'm sure there's probably questions and, with regards to this, even on our deal page, is our stream share feature. And stream share is a way where, kind of to the point I was mentioning earlier, actually, let me do this. Let me stop this because this isn't really, valid streaming information. But stream share allows you to send an invite, right? So let's say I was going to stream to Lindsay's or AppSumo's page, probably something we should have done. I could have sent in an email invite via stream share. So how do you do that? So you click on this stream share option, and this would be an email invite to that person to say, hey, Switchboard, Switchboard webinar. Put some information in here to kind of say, hey, this is Rudy with Switchboard. Lindsay, like we spoke with last week, we're going to stream to the AppSumo Facebook page. We'd love for you to add in, we'd love for you to authorize a destination. And you have two options here. So let's say this is something that's ongoing, right? I want to do this every week. And Lindsay said, you know what, Rudy, every time he goes live, we want your content because your content's awesome. I can leave this blank. And every time we go live and we turn on that destination, Lindsay's Facebook page or AppSumo's Facebook page will receive that content. But there could be a case where, you know what, we want you to stream, but after the event's over, we want to revoke the ability for you to stream to my page. So you can just fill in an expiration date here. So if I wanted this to expire, the end of the month, I would just fill in this field, follow the appropriate field information here. And once that date and time hits, that destination is no longer available inside of my Switchboard account. So it essentially revokes it. So from a security standpoint, you have the ability to, create this expiration date, if that makes sense. So next is I'm going to the next field. This is where you actually provide the information to who you're streaming to. So I would put in CLYNDSAY, Hall, and then her email address. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to put personal email and then contact phone number. So send an invite. So boom, Switchboard sends an email to which would have been Lindsay to say, hey, Rudy wants to stream to your socials. Click on this link. You get this email invite. Click on this link and fill out the form and authorize your Facebook page or your YouTube channel or your Twitter account from your computer. And once you're done, that will then show up inside of my Switchboard account. And the reason why we allow you to do this, because let's imagine if you were inviting 10 or 20 people, you could just start firing off and sending out all these invites to multiple different folks to be able to do that. And then once you're done, if they went through that process, their destination would then show up inside of your destination manager. So it would be listed here as a destination that says shared, from Lindsay or from, Rudy number 2. And then I can add that to a workflow and then go live. So that's the extreme power of leveraging, Switchboard and obviously the stream share feature. With the 5-stack deal, we have the ability for you to have what we call a branded stream share page. And a branded stream share page is a way that allows you to brand the event with your hero graphic, your title, your description, and you can just take that page URL and email that out to the people that you want to participate in the stream. And instead of it coming from our system, you could control whether it's an email blast or a newsletter or, just individually, you're able to disperse, who you want to opt in their socials. And then when they fill out the form, all of those destinations then show up inside of your Switchboard account. And you're able to add and control and really pre-populate what destinations you're going to stream live to at the same time. And so, I think, for now, our goal is really just to kind of come in and quickly show you, the power of Switchboard Live, as well as, leveraging, our product, our stream share feature, and then obviously answer any questions that you may have. So Lindsay, any questions we can start taking from the audience?
Absolutely. Let's do it. All right, Sumolings, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the Q&A box. I'm going to go through the ones that we have here. Any plans in the future to have your own encoder so we don't need an external one?
That is a great question. Yeah, I would love to, to be honest with you. Right now, that's not on our roadmap, but that's definitely something, super interesting. We thought about doing so. And if we do that, it's going to definitely be something for mobile, because we believe that, just the society and everyone's going mobile first. Let's make it really easy for you to be able to go live from your phone, right? Like, how cool would that be? So if that's something we do, it's going to definitely be a mobile first encoder and then kind of expand from there.
Cool. I like that. That is fun. Will you add more server locations to make them closer to our audience? And does it even matter?
Great question. So we're constantly improving our stream share, our stream ingestion zones. So behind the scenes, even though it says US East, there's pops, points of presence all up the East Coast. So from Miami all the way up to Toronto. So no matter where you're located, our goal is to make sure we put a encoder, geez Louise, we put an ingestion closest to your encoder, right? And does it matter? Yeah. So your goal is you want to create the least amount of like resistance or hops or steps it takes to get your video from your encoder to Switchboard. So for us, making sure that one, you select, the right one will help, make that happen. And two, as we can continue to populate the different zones, it's just going to make your latency a lot lower and less opportunities for things to get prolonged from a streaming perspective. So it does matter in the world of streaming as well.
Awesome. Can the streams be recorded?
Can streams be recorded? So what we built is first is like, how do you manage the multiple inputs and outputs? Like that was our first goal, right? This is a product that we built for us to work with customers that we were using. So right now we don't have that support for recording streams, but it's definitely something we're thinking about. And just frankly speaking, once you start recording streams, then we have to be able to support storage and archival. And then there's things that's involved with that. So we wanted to first make it easy for you to get video in and video out, and then kind of go from there. But if you need a stream recording, you can always go to YouTube. You can always go to Facebook, and you could download the archive that you have. But what I would recommend, if possible, and you should be doing this no matter what, is you should be recording at your encoder, because that's where you're going to get the best quality stream, right? The best quality archive should be done at the encoder level, because you're not going to, it's not going to be affected by, the streaming quality, the transcoding that happens. It's best to record at the source if possible.
Cool, thank you. How can we stream to our own website without YouTube and other streaming platforms? Do you have a player?
Great question. So we've been asked that maybe once before, I think. So we are definitely working on improving, some iterations that we've done in the past, specifically for customized customers that we have. So what we want to do, we want to make it really easy for you as a Switchboard customer to be able to click and go. We want to be able for you to add, just like we add a Facebook destination, an embed player that gives you the embed code that you're able to embed it on your website, right? And that's how you will solve for that. We're not there yet. We kind of jumped the gun, and we thought we would, we thought there was an opportunity to present that, but we realized that we want to make sure that the product that we deliver to our customers is fully fledged out and baked out. So we decided to kind of pull back on that, because that is in an alpha phase, and this isn't probably the best community to do that with, and really provide a product that's fully baked. So that is something that will be coming, and that's the plan. Is we want to really make it really easy for you to be able to provision a player embedded where it needs to go, and then make sure from a delivery standpoint, it's being delivered to the best of its ability.
Awesome, thank you. How can we stream simultaneous translation feeds from Zoom via Switchboard?
Simultaneous translation? That's a great question. I'm not sure. Is there any follow-up with that or no?
I don't see anything here. They did ask another question, but it's unrelated.
Got it. Well, so I'll take my best stab at it. So basically, whatever's coming into Switchboard, we're going to send it right back out. So typically, if the destination supports some type of localization on the fly, I think that would be the one way you would want to, leverage that. There are, either captioning or transcription services, third party, that you would insert in probably at the encoder level, but without getting too technical, like you would have to solve for that at your source, and then that would be a part of the stream. And then once it's a part of the stream, if the player or platform supports that, then you would enable it there. So keep in mind, we're think of us like just a big bull, like we're a bullhorn. Is that the right term? Bullhorn? Yeah. where we're just, you're making sure you get it everywhere you need to go. So whatever's coming in, we're going to send it out that same high quality. And just to quickly add to that, if you're sending like bad video, we're going to send bad video. So you want to make sure that your audio is good, your video is good, because whatever comes in is we're going to send it right back out at that same level, whether it's good or bad.
Cool. Thank you. What is the streaming limit per month if you get 5 codes?
Streaming limit per month. So right now there is no limit. So if you need to stream, 2 hours a day for the next, 365 days, go for it. Right. So, yeah, there's no limit there.
Cool. Okay. More about codes. It looks like there were about 12 to 15 platforms Switchboard has integrated to. If 3 AppSumo codes gives us 15 simultaneous streams, why would someone stack 4 or 5 codes?
15 simultaneous streams. So so there's a couple ways to kind of skin this. So one would be if you need the ability to go to, more simultaneous destinations, that's that's the logical way where you need to be able to add on more destinations. Also, one of the things that we've gotten some awesome feedback from some of the community members with how our current system works with team members and users is the ability to have sub accounts, right? So it's something that we're working on where internally we call it the agency model, where I'm a master account and I have all these, sub accounts where sub account A or child account A may have 5 destinations. Child account B may have 5 destinations, but being able to have those be allocated or pulled from my master account is what needs to happen. So if you have, multiple child accounts that you're managing or building, or even, leveraging as a service or service offering, you're going to need to have more destinations to allocate to all of your, child accounts. And so that's why, going upstream to be able to add more destinations is probably in your best bet.
Cool. Thank you. What is the average latency on 1080p streaming?
Ooh, I wish I knew that. So I'll answer it this way. So kind of to my point earlier, you send video in a Switchboard, and once we receive it, we're essentially holding a frame of video, which is probably like 250 milliseconds, which is like a blink, right? Like you don't even see that. It's like super fast. So from a latency standpoint, it's inconsequential. You won't even recognize it. So our goal is to get video in and video out as fast as it can. So whatever your latency is from going from your encoder to YouTube, it's the same thing with Switchboard essentially. So that's our goal, is to make it come in and go out as fast as it can. And we're constantly improving that as well.
All right. I've seen these 3 letters pop up a lot. I'd like to stream live Google Meet or Zoom meetings. I'm not familiar with OBS or other encoders. Could you give me a rundown on if we can do this? If so, what would be the most efficient way?
Great question. So the one that I know that is a common use case, we have tons of customers that do this, is to use Zoom, right? So for an example, we're in a Zoom webinar right now. Couple steps, you can go into your Zoom account. You can, one, enable live streaming. So Zoom inherently allows you to go to Facebook or YouTube, Facebook Workplace, I believe. But then they have this option called custom live streaming service. You configure that to point to your Switchboard account. Now this meeting goes into your Switchboard account. And once it's in Switchboard, remember, the sky's the limit. So you can publish all the different destinations you need to go to. So if, I think Google Meet, if Google Meet supports that, which I'm not sure, I don't believe they have the ability for what the term is called is RTMP out, right? Being able, is that a cat? I'm like, what is that? That's sorry. I want to make sure it was a cat. So hey, watch out, Lindsay. But RTMP out. RTMP out is what you would need for your platforms to be able to get video into Switchboard. Look, Francisco says, hello, cat. I like that. To get video into Switchboard. So as long as whatever cloud production, meeting platform service I mean, when you sign up, you may, if you're thinking about this, maybe the second question is like, how much does it cost and does it have RTMP out? Because here's where I see taking my my meeting, or especially now, think about like how, I'm sorry, I get excited and I start getting long-winded, but hopefully this is helpful to some people. But like, think about like doing like a fireside chat. Like this is kind of like, webinar fireside chat. This is our stage. Normally I would be sitting next to you. We both have mics and you'd be like, hey, Rudy, asking me questions. But now we're in 2 different locations. We're doing this. But imagine if people wanted to be entertained by your cat and me rambling, they could do that, right? Because we would be streaming it to Facebook. We would be streaming it to YouTube. We would stream it to live webinar, to Hopin. Like here are, awesome things that if they support RTMPN or coming from a stage, coming to Switchboard, going to Facebook, going to YouTube. So long-winded answer, as long as RTMP in and out is supported, then Switchboard can be a part of your, your live publishing stream chain. Hopefully that answered it somewhere. Cat threw me off.
Thank you so much. I was trying to keep her down here.
I
can't control this. Is there a way to set some kind of paywall?
Paywall. That's a good segue, actually, talking about events. Right now, we've asked that question. We've been asked that question, and typically what folks are doing is they're enabling paywalls on the destinations they're going to, right? So if it's an Eventbrite, or if it's probably like a Hopin or so forth, that's where the paywall component is supported. And that's what they do really well, right? They do the event management. And so I would say 100% leverage that to leverage those platforms that have the paywalls built in to use that. But what I will say is, let's say you do have a paywall and you have an event that that you want people to learn about. You can leverage Switchboard to stream it to like, 1 or more social channels and say in the description, you want to see more, you want to see the whole event, come here, right? You can direct them to your paywall to sign up, to join the event, to pay to attend. Like that's the power of leveraging, multi-streaming, to be able to do that. It used to be cool to say you could go to all these different destinations, but now it's like, how can you really leverage this to get more eyeballs, to get more viewers, to get people to go and be a part of the event, to be a part of the conference? And that's where we are super passionate about, is like, how can we make that repeatable and easy for you, so that people will come to your event and pay and they want to, come back again.
Thank you. Sumolings, if you have questions, make sure you're dropping them in the Q&A box. I promise I'm not skipping any, which is maybe why this is going to take a minute. I'm just going in the order of which they were received. Mike asks, how difficult or time consuming is it for the stream share invitee to complete the form and opt in to share your stream? Great
question. Awesome segue. I'm going to share my screen again.
Cool.
Like, I think that was like set up. I wish it was, right? But it wasn't. So I'm gonna just let you guys know.
Getting cooler by the minute.
Yeah, you like it. So here's what I have here. So here are like, when we started building this, this awesome product, we used to work with like bigger event companies like Monster Energy and Harley Davidson and Alienware. And it was like, okay, how do we get riders pages? How do we get, like Hurley and all these big brands to receive the live stream, other than getting their login information or making them an admin and all these kind of just convoluted solutions? That didn't work. So this whole concept of stream share was birthed, right? First it was the email. Then it's like, some people aren't good with email. And here's the stream share, branded stream share page. So here's an example of a page that we built, in the past, where Harley Davidson was doing this cool broadcast, and they were just, getting some of their participants to opt in. And what they do is they come to this page. You can send this URL out. They type in their name, their email address, and their phone number as well. And then once this form is filled out, you have the ability to, let me just do this. What better way? This isn't a live event, so we'll be fine. I'll just show you guys. And let's do the 215-853-6380. That's Switchboard's number. Boom, right? So now this drop down pops down. So now I have the ability to go to YouTube. I can go to Twitter. I can go to Facebook. I can go to Twitch. I can go to LinkedIn. So if I wanted to authorize my YouTube channel, I would click on this link. And this is going to basically say, hey, what channel do you want to add to Switchboard account? So I'm going to choose my Switchboard account. This is going to go and show me all my YouTube channels that Rudy has accessibility to. So as you can see, there's Johnny Switch and Switchboard and all the different ones. So I can choose this test account that I have here. Switchboard is going to get access. And keep in mind, this is all from the web page, and this could be anywhere in the world, right? I could send this to someone in Amsterdam and they could do the exact same thing. And then when they're done, get the green check for success. I hit done. And that destination is now inside of that Switchboard account. Now, because I'm not logged into their Switchboard account, I can't show you that, but that's the process, right? And now the fact that I've added in my destination, I can actually come back, right, the next time around, and I can either revoke my accessibility to that channel. So I have the ability to come back and say, you know what, hey, I don't want, my channel to, I don't want you to have access to my channel. I can come back to this page and then do that. So, so anyway, I thought it'd be great to kind of just show a branded stream share page. Here's another one we've done for a cool event in Orlando. You can kind of see you have this awesome hero graphic. You have your logo up here. You have a title slide, title information here. And then you can put some awesome description here, right? So this was an event that happened, well, 2 years ago. Wow. It's 2021 now. But for this strongman broadcast, and they had a bunch of strong men who wanted to be a part of the stream. And so this is what they did. So hopefully that answered the question, and also gave you a sneak peek in to see how this page is built and what it looks like.
Thank you. For some reason, whenever you stop sharing your screen, it turns you neon green.
Am I green now?
Yeah. I don't know if this is for anybody else. It'll change.
Oh my goodness. This is gonna be horrible in a replay.
Back.
So let me go back. Should I go back?
No, you're fine. You're not green anymore.
All right. Very odd.
Did it do it for other people?
Oh yeah, I see someone said yes, green. Interesting. Okay.
I think it's hilarious. With the forthcoming embeddable HTML5 player, will you include an embeddable chat feature for engaging audiences?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think we've been super focused on finishing that. That's interesting. That's something to add. For sake of time, there's probably some elements, and I would love to explore more about like why you would want that. But I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's you just kind of caught me off guard. I don't know. Like that's something we can put in and learn more about. I believe there are other chat solutions out there that may make more sense to maybe integrate with, to provide, that have much cooler systems, and it'd probably be faster to do that versus us trying to build it. Think about it, right? Someone's done it already. Like, why reinvent the wheel? So that may be the way we go. But yeah, that's interesting. So whoever said that, appreciate the feature request.
You're good at. All right. We have a couple questions about can I stream pre-recorded videos as lives? Angel asks, is there any way we can upload our video to YouTube and then put the link into Switchboard so it can play as live?
Wow, that's some great questions. All right, so pre-recorded video live. No, that's not, we don't have support for that, right? Typically when folks need to do that, they're loading up OBS or Ecamm or whatever piece of software they're using, the VOD, streaming that in Switchboard, going live. So like that's the work for that. There are solutions out there. I think you guys had a couple of them, AppSumo companies that provide that, really focus on demand streaming out. That may be something to do. Do we want to think about that? Sure, right? I mean, we think that makes a ton of sense, but it's so many more elements that's tied to that would it essentially could be another product, right? And being able to support that, because now that you have VOD, and then you have scheduling, right? And then you have storage, and you have archives. Do you download archives, right? it just starts to manifest. So while I 100% agree that is a feature for some folks that will need that, That's not just something we're focused on right now. Just to, to be brutally honest, that's the whole. We're all about transparency here. We're focused on the audience element. If this campaign goes bonkers and we, a lot of folks do it, and it's something we're able to do, and kind of maybe, right. But for right now, we're focusing on making it easy for you to have, more eyeballs on your platform. Angel's question with regards to YouTube as a source. That's a really cool idea. Like, I think this is one of the things that I'm personally, excited about just by being a part of this AppSumo community. It's getting these cool feature requests. I don't know. You could tell, like, you got my mind like racing here. No, we don't have support for that. So let me just say that, like, to be clear. But being able to do that, it's something that probably I could see that making a ton of sense, right? And that may even be an easier, faster way to provide that solution, right? So think about it, right? I just said, here's all the things that are associated with uploading video and so forth. But hey, if it's already on YouTube, maybe there's a way to pull it from YouTube and then stream that out, and everything I just said goes away. So that's very, very interesting. So we will get that added and kind of look into that. So thanks for the again, another good product feature for sure.
So on the subject of the future, a couple people have asked, these came in back-to-back questions in the same minute. What is your future vision for Switchboard, and what are the plans for the future?
God, I love that. So besides doing all those feature requests,
Yes,
maybe, that. Right? That could be, that sounds like enough for the next year. Yeah. That's definitely enough, for the next year or two.
They will keep you.
Pardon me?
So they will keep you busy.
Oh, for sure. I see that already. We're already 1 week into it, and we made changes already. So which is great. But great question. So where I see us really focusing and providing the value that we built in this new subcategory. So think 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you had to figure out, where am I going to stream video? I had to pick either a Facebook or a YouTube or a Ustream or Justin TV, or like, think about some of these older platforms, a Mixer or Beam before that. All these platforms that have come and gone or migrated or consolidated. Now that's no longer the issue. Now it's about, like, it's a given. You need to put your content on your own socials. And we want to take it a step further by now allowing you to put it on different channels that are like-minded community members or participants, right? That's where we're at now. Where I see this really going, and this is, kind of the big picture, is imagine all of the, solo entrepreneurs, freelancers, folks that really have a passion for the type of community AppSumo is. And we're doing this webinar, right? So being able to connect to other channels that have these types of audiences that we don't even know about, and being able to build maybe as a marketplace, maybe it's a way where I could say, hey, I want to reach, entrepreneurs that have this demographic, this age group. Show me channels that make sense for my content to be a part of, and making that connection happen, right? Like, that's the big picture. Is like, I see that, as one avenue, right? Another avenue is, and that was probably the bad question to ask me, because I go on and on. The other avenue is we're starting to see other platforms, other apps who are really focused on the product and the core competency that they're building, and say, hey, Switchboard, like, we like what you guys are doing. Can we integrate? Can we add what you're doing inside of our application? So now, instead of having people manage two systems, like, manage one and be able to use the power of what we built inside of that one, right? At the end of the day, that's what we care about. We want you to get your content everywhere, whether you're using, another, web provider or, hosting platform or service provider. Let's see if we can get that inside of that for you. So now you're getting the best of both worlds inside of that. So, like, that's another, pretty good opportunity for us to kind of, like, really focus on. Think of it as like multi-streaming as a service, and you're either consuming it via our web app, or you're consuming it via our API. And that's, the API allows us to integrate to all these different platforms. So hopefully that kind of sets the tone of where and what we see as our North Star.
That's still a good segue. So I've counted at least 3 questions regarding, can we stream into specific platforms? The platforms are always, at least consistent with these 3 questions, are always previous AppSumo deals. So I'm going to choose this one question that kind of summarizes the whole ask. Is it easy to integrate with other AppSumo programs, such as Live Webinar, Hopin, AirMeet, Eventi is another one that came up. Do I just have to set up an RTMP? Thank you, Tom.
Yes, RTMP, that's it. Custom, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. No diatribe or any of that. It's custom RTMP. That's what you need to do. If those platforms support that, you're in luck.
Amazing. A couple people have also asked about, I keep seeing these words.
These words.
Restream and StreamYard. So is this an alternative to those? How do you compare? Blah, blah, blah. I want to know, what do you guys offer that other tools are not? How do you stand apart from these other tools that they might have heard of?
Got it. So no, I mean, that's a great question. It's pretty common because at the core, right? When you look at this, again, back to my point of this new subcategory, live streaming was its own thing. Facebook, YouTube, livestream.com, Ustream, like all those things are there. And now being able to go to multiple ones at the same time, that's something new, right? That's a new subcategory. So while each of those products, whether it's Restream or StreamYard, Caster, right? There are other, cooperation. That's kind of like how I like to look at it. We're all providing a new value to this new subcategory, and we all have our spin on what we're focusing on, right? So there's definitely some features that, Restream is doing and Casters are doing that StreamYard are providing. And by the way, congratulations on them, right? Hopin just acquired them for a great amount of money. So like they stuck to what they were doing. They did it really well and they made it really simple. But the point is, if you look at it at the underlying layer, multi-streaming was what it started at. And that's what we're doing, right? So yes, we all are we've started in, well, maybe StreamYard, they kind of did it the other way around. But anyway, multi-streaming at a core is one of the kind of the core competencies that's a similarity, but we're all focusing on different pieces in this news park with all these different sandboxes. And so for us, we're focusing on the end. How do you get more eyeballs? How do you get more viewers, right? And so we want to make that super easy, super simple. Video in, destinations, go live, right? Hey, Lindsay, I want you to carry my live stream. Not a problem, Rudy. Send me an invite. And now when you go live, you can go live to my channel every time. Like that should be the conversation. Create this new term, this new, way of socially sharing video. How do you make video go viral, right? Like that's how we're thinking about it. There are tons of tools, there's software, there's hardware that you can produce a great quality stream. You can do graphics, overlays, lower thirds, all that. But if no one's watching it, what is the point? That's what we're trying to solve.
Harsh truth there at the end.
Right.
Is it possible to have a second workflow on the same account with my AppSumo subscription? If not, can I buy a second one on this account?
Definitely buy a second one, but no, you're actually, I don't know off the top of my head which tier. I don't have, I should have had it up. But if someone from the team is in the chat, they can probably reply quickly than I can. But if you see encoder workflow input, that is a second input. So, and what that allows you to do is it allows you to manage multiple encoders, multiple events concurrently. Great example, right? We have a customer that is a television station. So think about a television station. They have 4 inputs, and it's 4 inputs always coming in, whether it's the studio, it's the you get this, the helicopter camera, right? So when they're doing police chases, they're actually streaming this to their YouTube channel. Like, I kid you not, I've seen this. And so for them, that's late breaking. And so they need the ability to be able to do that, right? And so that's where you're able to manage multiple inputs, have concurrent events going on, concurrent streams going on, and managing the outputs. Like that's the switchboard element. Like that's what we're like really what it started is being able to put your video wherever it needs to go. Are you throwing stuff at your cat now?
That's the dog.
Oh my gosh.
It's a zoo in here. Thank you, Alex, in the chat for looking this up. The 2-encoder workflow input starts at 2 codes, and it looks like you get a new input for each code.
There you go.
So
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.
All right. Can there be a toggle switch which can enable the stream to go live as soon as the encoder goes live?
So short answer is yes, but I guess I would love to know why, right? Because you're relying on I guess like blind streaming at that point, right? So you're relying on making sure that video is being received inside of Switchboard. You're relying on that the title and the description doesn't matter. One way you probably could do that is right now, if you created what we call a custom RTMP, I mentioned that early in the demo, where it's not connected via API to Facebook or YouTube. So you create a custom RTMP and you just leave it on. So what is essentially would do is once video is present, it's just going to send, right? And there's no title, there's no description. I mean, I guess technically that's there now. There's no need for that. That's how you would solve for that. But if that's a unique workflow for someone, you can do that today.
Cool.
Glad we talked that out. Appreciate it.
How can we stream multiple audio sources within the video? This is also related to a previous question that I don't know which one.
So I'm not the biggest audio guy. I'm sorry. But the way, as long as that audio track, stream, data stream, whatever it is a part of the stream, and the endpoint player supports multiple audio tracks or multiple audio tracks, so like track A, track B, track C, it should just pass through. So like, oh yeah, I should just say it like that. Like our system is a big pass through. So as long as whatever's coming in is embedded in the RTMP stream, it will reach the destination in that same format, right? So if you're doing it at the source, then it should go to the destination, and hopefully that destination supports multiple audio track playback.
Awesome. All right. I like this question. I want the answer to be yes. Has anyone streamed a music concert?
Oh, please. Never happened. Just kidding.
No?
Yes, of course. Yes. Oh
No.
my gosh. I think, I'm gonna be honest, like when the pandemic, like that March, I think that was probably the most amount of calls that we received was around that. Hey, we had this concert that was going on, and how can we do this? Or how can we, like, we got a lot of those calls and emails around, because I mean, it's sad, right? Because all these venues just, they had to close down. And so like, how do you put that on? So yes, there's definitely been concerts and shows. We've done stuff with like Gibson guitars. Like that was like an awesome event that we were at where, anyway, sorry. Yeah. Yes, definitely concerts for sure.
They did ask, how did it go? So,
fine. It's well, the only, so, if anything with the music streaming, you just got to be, wary of is obviously licensing and copyright. Exactly. Right. So thanks, Alex, again, is you just got to make sure that, the rights to the content is going to the right channel. You just can't, take stuff off of, anywhere and stream that. But in a live perspective, as long as you have the rights to the content, you should be good, and make sure that your platform supports that as well. But yeah, you can totally do that. Not a problem.
Mike asked this question in the chat. Why are you offering a lifetime deal when you've been in business already for a few years? It seems too good to be true.
So great question. I think you said Mike. Yeah. So so for us, we, kind of like when we started this journey, we were really scratching an itch for some of the companies that we were working with. Like we were the stream guys, we were the the guys that came in and helped take the video signal and then coordinate all the efforts to get the video out to all the different destinations. And with anything like in the world of entrepreneurship, it's always great when you're solving a problem that you experience first. And that's what Switchboard came from. It's like I can recall times I was on the phone, like, that's just not going to happen. Like, there's no way, right? Like, and it's like, okay, we got to figure out ways to make this happen. So like that's, fast track. That's what we did. So for us, what we offered it in a way where it's like, hey, we'll just put it out to the world and they will come kind of approach. And in some cases that's obviously not the best thing to do. And so now we want to really, for sake of lack of words, just have a like a launch, if you would, just really start the year off really well to kind of get the word out, to start being more involved in the community and really focus on educating why and how you can use a product like ours to really again, you hear me saying the same thing, but get more viewers on your eyeball, because that's exactly what we did for these bigger events. We saw that this happening, and so that's why we built this product. So for us, this is like, hey, and just for we're not doing events anymore, right? So it actually turned into a business that is hard to scale, right? And I'm glad we decided not to, because unfortunately that's a business that's suffering right now, right? And then everything had to move to virtual. So anyway, so our goal is really like, hey, here's our product. We want feedback. Got that. We're getting a ton of that. We've been in this space, yes, for a period of time. And now we want to take all of that feedback and really start focusing on the things that we believe that matters. And while we do that, we want feedback from the community. We want to make sure that we're building a product that can enable you to do more, right? At the end of the day, we want to build a productivity play, because streaming to more than one destination, for lack of, it's a tool. Like, just be honest, right? It's a tool. And as you can see, there's other competitors and other, companies that have now added that. And we knew that because we were building a tool for our own use. And so, so for us, how do you maximize that tool and what you do with the powers that have been bestowed upon you? That's what we're trying to solve for. And so, so that's hopefully that was an answer that, from Mike.
I feel like I can also say I've talked to a lot of partners that have established products. Like, we recently had Descara, which does accounting software.
Okay.
They've been around for 10 years. They launched with us because, one, the Sumoling feedback is super valuable.
Agreed.
And two, what you were saying, what you mentioned briefly, was just like the idea of a launch. Like, when you're like creating and pushing updates regularly, there isn't this like big campaign behind it. This is fun.
Exactly. Oh, I mean, yeah, just go after team members. They love answering emails and feedback and commentary, right? Like, but I will say this. I tell you one thing that, just what we've learned over, the week, we're coming together as a team. I mean, I'm just being honest, right? Like, we're coming together as a team. We're talking about it. We are, acknowledging some of the feedback. We're acknowledging like, so yeah, we were thinking about it like this, because to your point, we've been in this space for a period of time, but wow, imagine if we're able to do this for Mike, and to be able to do this for these people, then they could go out and become like Switchboard ambassadors. Now they're going out and building businesses, creating services, job creation, doing events, and they're leveraging Switchboard behind the scenes because they got this cool little awesome product that, other than us using it for our customers, no one knew about it. So you're absolutely correct. This is definitely, a launch, a product, launch for us. And now I think back, we've never done it. We've done a blog post, but we didn't have many bloggers, right? People to subscribe to our blog. So like it's like we're dog fooding it, right? So
I've heard this before from partners, and I think that's fun. I like that. I'm happy that we could give this to you.
Thank
you. Mike did say that this is a very helpful answer, and that this tool seems like a game changer, and he bought 5 codes. So there you go.
Mike, you rock. You're a rock star, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right. Sumolings, we may not have a chance to get to every single question, but I'm going to try to get through a few more in the Q&A now. What does the invite look like to the recipient?
Let's see. let's do this. I'm gonna try to multitask.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's my bad. I was ill prepared. I'm gonna try to log into my personal account, right? Because that's why I sent it to. Actually, let me just do this again. If we could take another question.
Tom had a second question in that group. So how much does my bandwidth requirement vary by the number of recipients?
It doesn't matter. So one stream into Switchboard can support however many people are tuning in on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, because those platforms are serving the masses. So yeah, it doesn't. Sky's the limit. It doesn't matter as long as if you want to go bring down YouTube, then go for it, right? Have fun. We'd love to see that happen. Well, in a good way, in a good way for a lot of events, not in a bad way.
All right. Does your app have minimum recommended computer specs besides, adequate internet connection?
Internet. Well, remember it's cloud-based, right? So you're going to be beholden to whatever type of encoder you're using on your computer or desktop. So as long as you have internet connectivity and you have a browser, right, you should be good to go. Now, I will say with regards to the actual encoder, in live streaming, it's all about upstream. So you could have this awesome, gig internet connection and amazing download speed. But if your upload speed is, small or it's a small number, then that's going to have a major, major impact on what you're able to stream and also the quality of the stream. So, so that really matters. So I would say, just as a rule of thumb, really, if you're trying to stream like a high bit rate, you should at least have double the internet, upload stream capacity, just to be on the safe side, and minimum upload speed of, now some people will say 10 megabits, but if you're at home, some cable providers aren't going to provide that. Minimum 5, I think, would be good, as long as your stream is below that. And now that's the bare minimum. But if you can get 10, 15, 35 up, that's what really, really matters.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let me, so here, let me share my screen again. I can show, I think I can. I guess I can't multitask here. I'm sorry, you can ask another question. I'm going to share my screen once I get rid of all these tabs. Here we go.
The number of destinations are the number of active and streaming at the time, correct?
The number of destinations. So the number of destinations is the max amount of active and streaming at the same time. Yes, that is correct. So for example, I'm sorry.
I was going to say that's going to be our last question besides this invite one.
So let's say you are at the 5 code. I believe the max is 60 destinations. You can, in theory, have 100 different destinations, over the course of doing business inside of Switchboard, but only 60 of them could go live at one time. And I would love to see you go live to 60 different destinations, because that shows that's a real awesome event. And here's an example of that stream share that I did do, right? So I sent it to myself, and this is what it looks like. So it's like, hey, actually, this is what I get after I authorize it. So this isn't the invite. It looks really, really similar to this. I missed it. I'm not in my email right now. But this is basically, once you share it, you get an invite to let you know that, hey, you've shared your stream to this channel. And if you want to go back and like revoke that channel destination, you're able to do that by clicking on that link, and then go back and do that. So this is what it almost looks like. It looks like this, but it just says share my channels. But yeah.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Sumolings, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. somebody did say, I have never been as excited for a product than I have been for this one.
Fantastic. Glad we could help.
Yeah, Sumalings, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We've been here for a little while, so it's about time for us to call it a day. Thank you so much, Rudy, though, for giving us such thorough answers and walking us through the platform. Harry said this was dope. I am glad to hear it.
Harry the big dog.
I'm sorry, I didn't do the whole name. You're right. Harry the big dog says this was dope. Dope is my word, so that makes me excited. Thank you. Great webinar from Tom. Awesome. Thanks. All right. You guys are rock stars. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you have not already, what are you doing? You go to appsumo.com/switchboard right now to redeem your codes, starting at $59 for a lifetime deal. Of course, this is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So you can go ahead, get set up, play around with it, see how it works for you. Once you've totally fallen in love with the tool, go ahead and leave those reviews on the deal page. We love to read them. Currently has a 5 taco rating, although I'm sure you guys can all believe that by now. And then, of course, if you have any more questions, I'm so sorry that we didn't get to them today. You can leave those questions on the deal page. I'm sure they're excited to talk to you. And thank you so much, Rudy. I hope you guys have a good one.
Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.